What is going on, everybody? This video is going to be a quick run through of how to get Spark going on Windows and Linux by just installing Pyspark. I know there's a lot of videos out there that have you go out to Apache and download full Spark and Hadoop, but if you're just looking to dip your toes into it, start to get familiar with the functionality, you don't need all that. You won't have actually Hadoop, and you won't have the APIs for Scala or Java, but it's a good way to get you up and going quickly. So let's jump right in. I'm going to assume that you have Python installed on your system, as well as Visual Studio and Jupyter notebooks of some kind, so you can use Python interactively here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to download Java. And the way we can do that is we can just go to java.com and download Java and download. That'll just take a moment. And if we look here, and we just go Apache Spark compatible Java versions, we can see that we need Java 8, 11, or 17. And this can be a little bit confusing, but I will show you here after the install. And I'm actually going to change the destination folder, and I'm going to change that and go to C, make a new folder, and just call that JRE-8. That'll work for our purposes. Next, and we'll let that install. While that's going, we will go ahead and we will need to set two environmental variables here. And I just got there by hitting the start button and starting to type environment. And you should see that there. We'll go to environmental variables, and we need to make a new system variable here and just call that Java home. And for the value, we're just going to put in where we installed Java. So that's going to be JRE-8 and OK. And let's see how that install is going. All right. We can open up a command prompt here. And if we do Java version, we see 1.8. But if you go here and scroll down to Java and about Java, you can see that the version is actually going to be version 8. And we can check our environmental variable here by just echoing Java home. And you can see that that is the correct place where we installed Java. Sorry, I'm on a VM here, so it is a little bit laggy. While that's going, we will also need one more piece here. There we go. And we'll let that catch up real quick. And JRE-8. Quick double check. That looks correct. So we're going to want to make a new directory here, and we're just going to call this Hadoop. And we'll go out and we need something called WinUtils. And see if this is the correct GitHub repo. That's not the one I want. Let's see if Actually, I think it's right here. And I'll post this down in the comments so you don't have to search around so much. And we want WinUtils.exe. And we can just download that. And go to our downloads. And copy that. And paste that right in Hadoop. Like that. And then we'll also set that as an environmental variable down here in system variables. We just need to go new Hadoop, and I believe that's Hadoop home, C:\Hadoop. All right. And while that's going, I'm just going to do pip install Pyspark. And this will take just a moment. I probably should have kicked this off first thing, so it would have been finished by the time I was done. And we're actually probably going to need to restart Visual Studio Code here. Let me just test if I open up a terminal down here and echo Java home. It does not seem to recognize that, so I'm just going to, oh no, not shut down the VM, close down Visual Studio here and give it a restart. Once that comes back up, I just want to make sure that I can see those system variables take effect. There we go. And echo Java home. I'm not sure why that's not picking up. I believe I got the right syntax there. Oh, maybe because it's in PowerShell. Not sure why that is in PowerShell. Let me see if I can do a command prompt, see if we get a different result. There we go. And we should also be able to see Hadoop home. All right. Let's see if our download is done. Well, while that's going, we can start here. The syntax here, we're going to want to import Pyspark and also from Pyspark.sql import session builder, is it? All right, that looks like it's done. Let's see, from Pyspark.sql import, oh, maybe it's Spark session. There we go. Okay, that loaded up okay. And then we can do Spark equals Spark session.builder. Give it any app name you'd like. I'll just say demo, does not really matter. And then get or create. I believe that's right. Missing one positional argument name. Let me. Oh, I think it wants double quotes. Let's see here. There we go. I guess capital B is a different function, but I don't think that will come in too handy, so I'm not going to go ahead and research what that difference is. I don't know, maybe if I get bored later I will. And then we can do spark.sql select hello world as message. And actually, I think it's best practice to use 3 double quotes. And it does take a little bit of time because Spark has more overhead than just running pandas or something like that. But if you were working with a larger data set, it would be much faster than working just with pandas or something like that. And then we can also, to write it out, it's a little odd because it really wants to write to Parquet. So if you just do something like write.csv, this isn't write.csv. See, it's going to go ahead and make a directory. And let's see here, what error are we getting? Let's see if that's just due to, if I do 2 pandas, I believe it's like that, dot 2 CSV. And let's call that another. I think we can set the header to, or I'm sorry, the index. If I can spell correctly. Okay. Oh, pandas must be installed. Okay, pip install pandas. And hopefully this is a quick install. Sometimes the internet speed on this VM likes to flink in and out a little bit. Typical warnings. I'm not sure if I have to restart, but you know what, I'm just going to rerun these anyway, just to get ready for when this is done. There we go. And there's our CSV. Let's see. Another fun thing we can do would be, let's load up some bigger data. We can do New York taxi data. And I think this should be a bit of a smaller one. That's very quick. So we'll just go to downloads and copy that. I'm just right here in my documents directory, and we should be able to do, let's see, df fhv equals, let's see, spark dot read dot parquet, and there we go. And that was very quick with this parquet file. So I can do df table equals spark dot SQL, and make sure I get that syntax right, or that is not correct. I want df fhv without the caps lock. Let's try that one more time. Create or replace temp view, and we're just going to call this fhv test. Run that, and then we can do df data equals spark.sql, again triple quotes. It always wants to put that args there for me. One day I will find a way to turn that off. Let's just do a top 10. Oh, I'm thinking of SQL Server. Select star from FHV tests, limit 10. And then we can just look at that data by using show. There we go. And we see a lot of null values, dispatch base number, nothing too remarkable, but if we wanted to clean that up and say, well, I can just reuse the same cell, and I'll just do something like where PU location ID is not null and DO location ID is not null and SR flag is not null. Actually, I'm going to do not null, and we can do a count on the data that we retrieved before that includes the nulls. Oh, because I limited it to 10. Okay. So that wasn't a very good test. And I'm going to see the count on that. And I can actually just grab the original data. Oh. It looks like there are no records in there where one of those fields is not null. But the data set that we have is 1,114,320. And if I just go back and let's see, I believe it was drop-off location ID. I at least saw some data in there. So if we run that again, we can get 935,715 rows. But that Spark SQL, again, this video was just installing on Windows. You can look, there's a lot of resources out there for Spark, how to work with RDDs and things like that. But next we're going to show a quick install on Linux, and that will be it. I will try to put some resources down in the description. So let's jump right into how to install on Linux. So I would highly recommend using Linux. If you can, spin up a VM on your machine, either with VMware, VirtualBox. Make one on GCP and connect it to your local machine. But if you have to use Windows, well, we just went through how to do that. So on Linux, you already have Java installed, and 11, if you remember, it was 8.11 and I believe 17. So we just need to do a pip install Pyspark. And while that's running, I'm going to go ahead and make a new Spark tests, IPython notebook, IPYNB, and import Pyspark from Pyspark.sql. Actually, you know what? I still have this VM open. I could probably just copy and paste that. And let me just make sure that gets installed. And that does take a moment, so let me just go ahead and copy and paste these cells, just so when that's back, we can prove that it works. And not sure why my hotkey for a new cell isn't working, but no matter. And I probably don't have pandas on this one yet, so I'll kick that off. Oh, I didn't install the suggested extensions yet, so let's get that running. And then it's probably going to want me to select the environment here. I'm just on the base install. Okay, I think that should run now. There we go. And it really doesn't matter, but if you, let's see, it's from warnings, import warnings, set logger level. Let's see. That looks promising. There we go. And let's see, I'm just going to paste that in. And there, no more error message. We can run that and just show what's in our data frame. All right. So notice we didn't have to do WinUtils, of course. We don't have Hadoop home set. We don't have Java home set. Don't have Spark home set on either one. Again, this is just a quick run through of how to get you up and going. If you run into issues with errors where you can't run functionality in Spark, go ahead and, well, actually I would suggest you work through those and try to get whatever you have going. But if you're frustrated and just want to get going and dig into the good stuff, which is the coding, go ahead and blast all those installs away wherever you installed Spark, Hadoop, and I would just install it this way. It's a good way to get up and going quickly. Hopefully this helps some of you out there, and I will see you in another video.